All right, it is time to get into some applications of exponential functions. As a reminder, when we've talked about exponential functions this past week, we're looking at this general layout. Okay. In this general layout, we have an A value, an H and a K value. But what we want to focus on is this B value. Okay. This B value, it is our parent function, but it's also our rate or a factor, depending on what we're looking at. Okay, so this is the piece that's going to change the most often based on what function that you do have. So looking at this first problem, we know that this piece right here, this is our base, and there's our exponent. In this base, okay, what we see is what we get. So this is a growth factor. It's a growth because that base is greater than 1. And when we see the word factor, that's just our base. And our base was 1.35. We're going to get into this thing called a rate today with word problems. This growth rate, the rate is the difference from 1. So in this case, since our base is 1.35, our rate is 0.35, or you can think of that as 35%. Again, let's look at number 2. Here is our base. We have a decay because our base is less than 1. So our decay factor, again, that factor is going to be our base. Our base was 0.60. We then want to talk about a decay rate. Remember, our rate is our difference from 1. So 0.60 is 0.40 away from 1, or 40%. All right, let's work on another one. Here we have our base. That is a growth because our base is greater than 1. Our growth factor, okay, what are we multiplying by every time? Remember that word factor is to multiply. We're looking for things that are multiplied. We're multiplying this raised to a certain power. So our factor is our base, and that base is 1.04. Our growth rate is the difference from 1. That's 0.04 more than 1, or we can think of that as 4%. Let's do one more together. There's our base. That's a decay function because our base is less than 1. So our decay factor, again, the factor is just the base, which is 0.42. Your rate is how far you're away from 1. So we have to do some subtraction. That should be 0.58 or 58%. Go ahead and pause the video and try these next 2 examples to see how well you've mastered this concept. Resume the video to see the answers. As you resume the video, here are the answers to the last 2. Notice number 5 is a little bit different. They have the addition sign, but if we add those together, that base is greater than 1. So this is still a growth function. Tune into the next video to begin working with word problems.